Hi, it's Joey here, and in this video I want to talk about how to survive the Facebook banhammer in 2020. Okay, so the rumblings in the industry are clear. Everyone seems to be losing their Facebook ad accounts, no matter whether you are running white hat or black hat, it doesn't matter, okay? So what do we do as affiliates? Now, I'm not claiming to be the Facebook king or queen here, and I'm not trying to say that I am the god of Facebook by any means. However, I have ran a ton of traffic to Facebook in the last 10 years, and I have lost many Facebook accounts, okay? In fact, if I know any affiliates out there, if any affiliates want to comment below that you still have your personal Facebook ad account, I will give you an award. I don't know what the award will be, but it will be a very magical award for any real affiliates out there that have driven tons of traffic to Facebook without ever losing their Facebook ad accounts, okay? So on that note, what can we do in 2020 to ensure that we aren't the victim of the Facebook banhammer? Now, it's clear, everyone I talk to, in all of the chats I'm online, I'm in forums, I see Facebook groups, everyone's complaining, look, I just lost my Facebook ad account. I was running a completely legit campaign for a toothbrush. I mean, how did I lose my account? Like, what happened here, okay? So there's a whole bunch of things happening in behind the scenes, obviously, that we don't know. A lot of people will, sell these courses out there about Facebook ads and claim to know everything, but really nobody actually knows what's happening in behind the scenes. Now, there's a whole bunch of things that we know are happening, like the fact that they have an algorithm, they have artificial intelligence, they have stages of approvals that you have to get through, they have a big long list that you can find on Google Images about all the things that they will consider when they're looking at your ad. We know all of this stuff. We know there's human beings behind the scenes that are doing manual reviews, but we also know that it's just not completely consistent all the time, okay? There's a whole bunch of different factors that are at play here. Everybody has their own opinion. All these ad reviewers have their own opinion. It feels like they have this big red magic button where they just hit it, and there's people that are on auto hit to just ban your accounts, okay? And we know that this is actually happening on a grand scale, like millions of accounts getting banned, okay? It can't just be a one-off here. Like this, there's something major going on, and we have to, obviously work around that, because especially as affiliates or performance marketers in general that are, we're affiliates and now they sell their own e-com products or their own diet products, whatever the case may be, whatever your business is, I'm sure that over the time as you got there, you've learned how to adapt with the industry. That is what we do. That is how we work, okay? So some of the things to consider are, that Facebook has been to our affiliate conferences, they've been there, they've spoken to us. In fact, if you look at this video right up here, I'll put a little image here, you can see that there are, people at these conferences. In fact, let's just listen to what this person said about, how much they love us, okay?
A year ago to this day, I'm still fighting the fight internally for everyone in this room, because we understand the value you guys can drive to Facebook.
So what do we need to do in 2020 to make sure that our account kind of has a chance to survive? Well, I have my own theories, and this is what I am going to be doing, okay? Now, keep in mind, like I said, I've lost many accounts. I know how it works. You get banned, and one of the first things you can do is, instead of going out and buying an account or getting somebody to farm you a new account or renting one or all these kind of things that people are doing to get their ad accounts back, the first thing you should be doing is just being nice and appealing to Facebook, okay? Now, one thing that we've noticed in the last little while is that Facebook is, in fact, granting accounts back just by being nice and appealing to an actual human being. So you just go to Facebook ad support, instead of being a complete asshole, just say something nice. Remember, it's actually going to be reviewed by a human being, and just kind of admit your mistakes. Even if you think that you didn't make any mistakes, just say what they need to hear to get your Facebook ad account back, and 9 times out of 10, that is actually going to work. Unless, of course, you were running something extremely aggressive, like, those diet trial advertorials, telling people they're going to lose X amount of pounds in Y amount of days, whatever, okay? You're not going to get your ad account back. If you do, again, post a comment below. You will get an award for getting your account back for running a completely aggressive advertorial to a diet offer and getting your account back with an appeal. That was magical. Okay, so one of the biggest things that Facebook is going to be looking at, whether it was last year or this year or next year, is user experience. Obviously, they want their users to be happy when they are on the platform. So the biggest threat to the user experience is advertising. So they are extremely aggressive with a ban now, ask questions later approach, okay? Now, at a conference in 2016, I was sitting in the audience at Affiliate World. There were representatives from Facebook, and they were asked specifically, will you ever consider just disapproving the ads and legitimately explaining to people why it was not approved rather than just hammering down with the banhammer? And here is what she said.
Is there any chance that we will at some point get the opportunity to just say, okay, well, I'm going to submit this ad, and then it will get looked at by a human being, and if they say, no, that's too far, they'll come back to me with feedback, and then I can improve on that?
It's coming.
Right. Is any time frame?
At some point in 2017.
Okay, so that was roughly 4 years ago, and it still hasn't happened. So to expect Facebook to actually just give us a legit reason why our ad was banned or why our account was banned is not going to happen. You are not going to get it. They're not going to get any easier. It's not going to get any better for us, especially if you're an affiliate or an aggressive, marketer, or if you're just doing performance marketing in general. You're trying to get, X by spending Y, you need to get profitable campaigns. It's going to be a challenge no matter what, okay? So we have to get past that. We know that, so fine. Okay, let's deal with it. So how do we do that? Well, first of all, we need to make sure our ads provide the user a good experience. So to do this, we either provide a bunch of great content, but again, everything I'm going to say from here on out has been banned by other people who are doing it, okay? It's a complete mess. So you just have to remember there is the appeal process. You have to go through it, you have to test it, and just hope when you submit an ad that it's not disapproved or banned, okay? But here are some strategies that I'm going to be implementing in 2020 that I feel will actually work. So what I'm going to do first is I'm going to actually use a spy tool or a competitive intelligence, whatever you want to call it. I'm going to look for ads that are getting a lot of those little smiley faces and a lot of shares, okay? Something that's been around for several months, several, years if it's possible, and look at these types of ads and what they're actually saying and doing, okay? One thing I'm going to avoid is copying ads that have all those little grumpy faces, okay? Because generally speaking, if you look and you find an ad that has a bunch of grumpy faces, you're going to see that it probably hasn't been around for very long. Now, you're also going to be looking for pages that have ads that have been running for a long time. Now, this could mean a few things. It could mean that they are whitelisted, which means like sometimes you see these Wish ads out there that are completely scammy ads by Wish, but for some reason they still survive. And you have to wonder that, like, we sit there and we see, okay, well, why does this guy get to run all these casino ads? And why does this one get to run dating? And why does this guy get to run whatever? It's because either they are whitelisted or they have so many different accounts and an agency account with a bunch of accounts that are running really clean stuff, and then they've got one that's kind of just a little off, okay? That's what's happening. And to set that up and take that big risk is really not worth it on an agency level or even on an affiliate level or anything like that, okay? I'm going to be looking for ads that are just getting the smiley faces. So that's what I'm going to focus on is user experience. Now, understanding obviously the process of how it works in terms of approval. First of all, you're going to submit an ad. It's going to be reviewed by a robot. If there's any image in there that has been flagged before, if there's any keywords that are flagged, if there's any domain that you're using that is flagged, for example, let's say you buy a domain from Flippa, you think, oh, what a great business, and then really you didn't understand or you didn't know, but this was flagged by the previous owner, and that's why they're selling their damn domain, is that now, as soon as you submit it, you lose your Facebook ad account. And to appeal a flagged domain is very difficult, okay? Appealing an ad copy is different, but by trying to appeal a domain that's been flagged, it's almost like you're trying to circumvent their system. They see this as a more dramatic approach, and they just kind of ban you for good. So once you get past this automated review. It's probably going to go live if you haven't really done anything serious in the past. It's going to go live if you're not in any niche that kind of triggers these kind of manual reviews. But eventually you're going to get a manual review. Now, a manual review can be triggered by many things. Most of the time it's by words or images or domains, but at the same time, if you get a lot of grumpy faces or people just don't like your ad or complaints or bad feedback, then you're going to go for manual review. If Facebook feels, or whoever's reading and doing the manual review feels that there's any risk to a happy user on the other end of Facebook, then you're probably going to be banned rather than disapproved, okay? Sometimes you will be disapproved. It's just kind of a 50-50 kind of deal. This is what I've observed anyway. 50-50 whether you're going to be banned or you're going to be just disapproved, and you can resubmit, okay? In either case, you can appeal that. So some of the things that we used to do as affiliates, like, these quizzes that were kind of sketchy, answer this, this, and this, and then get this, they tend to be frowned upon by Facebook. I'm not going to be using any more of these quizzes. I'm going to use general content, really good engaging content that I see other people doing. I'm going to use lists of content, and I'm going to link to actual products that are good products. Okay, that's the only way I can do this. That will kind of limit my chances of being banned. One of the things that Facebook openly admits is that they have opaque rules, meaning that there's no real definitive reason why they ban you, and that's kind of the thing that we're gonna have to live with in 2020 and beyond, is that we're never sometimes gonna really know why we were banned, and sometimes it just depends on many different factors, and maybe the person reviewing your ad had a bad day, whatever it is, it doesn't really matter. We're not going to get the answers we want. It's not going to get any better. So we need to either adapt and move with Facebook and kind of make things that are better for the user, choose products that are good products. As affiliates, it can be difficult, especially if you're in the CPA space, so you need to find those offers out there. Maybe lead gen offers are a little more safe. Build your own funnels first. I talk about this a lot. I'm going to be building my own funnel, getting my own email list built before I start promoting other stuff, okay? So Facebook will still look good upon this as long as I have a really content-rich website. So the website has a lot to do with it. The quality of the website, the originality, all of these things really matter. You need to make yourself appear like a real legit business, okay? Even the real legit businesses out there are getting banned because of their ads and kind of the things that they're pitching. Drop shippers are going to have a big challenge this year, especially in terms of trying to get products to consumers and making sure consumers are still happy in the end. Lots of drop shippers think it's white hat just to start setting up drop shipping, but it's not. Well, it's technically white hat, but Facebook doesn't like it because the end user, if they're not getting their products in time, or if they're getting, they were promised X but they were given Y, they're going to complain and they're going to blame Facebook. They're not going to blame the person that advertised to them, and that's the way Facebook looks at it anyway. So we need to make sure we give people quality, we design products, or we send them products in a reasonable amount of time, and we don't make any specific promises. Another big thing is we can't identify traits of the people that we are advertising to. So we can't say things like, are you feeling unhealthy today? Or you can't speak to people directly, okay? This is one of the bad things that it's kind of hard to know when you're doing it, but it's one of those things that you really have to be careful of. So if you're targeting people in an older demographic, you can't say stuff like, we know you're a senior, so this is going to be something that you're going to like. You can't say that because that user will all of a sudden realize, okay, wait a minute, this is kind of creepy. Somebody just knows that I'm a senior and they're advertising to me, and Facebook really hates that, okay? So make sure when you're writing your ads that you're not saying any of the attributes that you are actually targeting in your target settings, okay? So, the bottom line in 2020, is Facebook dead? Absolutely not. It is the biggest traffic source out there. It will continue to be the biggest traffic source in 2020. It's just a matter of how we craft our ads and how we deliver content to Facebook users. We have to remember what Facebook's main objective is to make their users happy. Find those posts that have smiley faces, okay? Mimic those types of posts, see what's being shared. Facebook likes it, obviously, if it's been there for a while, so copy those, and don't ever mention attributes about people that you're targeting in your target settings, okay? So don't ever mention that stuff in your ads and your landing pages. Just be friendly with people and don't try and scam them by giving them promises like get X in Y, all of this kind of stuff. Now also, keep your eyes peeled for these courses out there that are pitching you, you know, how to build your big Facebook agency and all this stuff, because really all of that training is available on Facebook. Facebook has introduced their new training platform. I would highly recommend going through all of that training yourself. There's nothing else that you're going to learn by all of these gurus out there that isn't already in there. If you read between the lines, you're going to see what Facebook actually wants in 2020. So just check it out. If you're not the one doing the ads, you still have to know these rules. So you have to, as a business owner, check out the training, okay? Understand, so when you're training your media buyers or you're training anybody on your staff, but they know the rules, because really the value of a Facebook account can really make or break some businesses out there in terms of advertising, okay? And you don't want to risk that by having people not know the real rules. So any of these gurus, courses out there, you need to be extremely careful about. A lot of those strategies out there are outdated. Everything that you need to know about Facebook advertising is free on their website, okay? So that is where I'll be focusing a lot of my own training, is through the Facebook platform itself. One of my main goals for this year will be to actually find a Facebook rep. So whether it means going to these conferences where you can, you know, meet people from Facebook and that kind of stuff, is to understand and try and get a communication going between some actual humans, rather than always dealing with the bot or the artificial intelligence of Facebook. So hopefully this video has given you some insight on what to consider when setting up Facebook ads, especially in 2020. Things are changing dramatically in all traffic sources, but it doesn't have to be the end of the world. There's always a way around it. That it makes the experience of the user automatic, or 2020. You're in my bloopers clip.